Senator Rapert.
Yes, and I apologize. I was held up for another meeting. Mr. Selig, who oversaw this project? Who was responsible at DHS for this $100 million project that has given no results?
Well, we have results. It hasn't been as good as we want. It's taken longer, but we've got results. The lead on it initially was our Director of System and Technology, who also has lots of other responsibility. One of the changes we made is to identify
how much was spent on the first contract where you fired the vendor?
Well, I don't know how much we paid to that vendor. I have to go back and find it.
Is there anybody in the room that can help you with that number?
Let me see if I have it here now. It looks like we, looks like we paid them $32 million to develop the initial part of the system.
Okay, you just advised me that you paid the vendor $32 million.
Yes, sir.
And you fired him.
Yes, sir.
Who was responsible for hiring that vendor?
So that was the team that we had to evaluate the project and then chose the vendors. Us working with DIS.
Who was responsible for keeping them accountable before you spent $32 million of taxpayer money?
Well, they produced early on, as I said. They got the system.
Okay, I'm not speaking.
So I'm
English.
So I'm ultimately responsible for using that vendor.
And I don't want you to take responsibility. It's not yours.
Well, ultimately, it's
I know that ultimately, but was there somebody on your team, in your executive team, that you were depending upon to monitor these results and make sure that we never got to a situation where we just spent $32 million and got nothing for it?
So we did get something for it. We weren't satisfied with the performance, so that's why we let them go. But they created the system that allowed us to start.
And that system is not fully operational even now.
It's not fully operational, no sir. But we got work product out of them.
And they spent now $100 million.
Was that we spent about $100 million on this project, yes sir. Right. I mean, it has been a bear because of these changing requirements. It's been very difficult to get this done. I mean, we're now getting a lot more done. But like I said, this vendor who did good work in the first few months, as this project got more complicated, we were less and less satisfied with their performance, and so we switched lead vendors and we're not using them anymore. But we were paying for time and materials for them.
You know, when we talk about penalties and that's been managed, is there any penalties and whatnot, I just don't know how we could penalize the Arkansas taxpayers any more than we have. You know, and obviously I missed part of the meeting and I don't want to plow ground that's already been plowed, but I can tell you that from the legislature side, we need some new leadership to help on this because it's very problematic. I don't understand how you've got to this point, spend $100 million on this project, and it's not fully operational. I believe that if I had been a part of that situation, I would be so embarrassed. I would say we messed up. I'm sorry, and we'll move on. And that's why I would like to know who's responsible, because really, frankly, the bottom line is somebody needs to be accountable for what's happening in DHS as it relates to this. And we've sat down here for this week in a special session, and we've agreed over $6 million a year in interest payments that we're going to make for a bond issue and things of this nature. We just don't have $100 million to be spending on something that doesn't work. With that, I'll stop. But I appreciate you at least trying to respond.
Well, yes, sir. I mean, part of it is on us. That's why I don't know if you heard the part. I mean, part of what we looked at when the governor asked us was how we were managing the project, and we have brought new leadership in on the project and put in additional controls because we felt like as it got more complicated, we did not respond like we should. And I mean, I'll tell you, I'm sorry for that. I didn't get on as quickly as I should have, and we didn't have the kind of. Honestly, we were trying to. Let me say me. I was trying to manage this with our own staff as best we could because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on additional vendors to manage this project. I think in hindsight that was probably wrong. I mean, and the federal government has said, and our consultants who we did review said, you just need to hire some systems integrators, some project management office. You've got to have some additional outside expertise on a project this big and complicated. And I hesitated to do that because it's millions of dollars just to get that help. In hindsight, we should have hired them. So that's on me for, I was trying to save money and I think I saved a dime and spent $1. So that wasn't smart in hindsight.
Okay. Representative Ferguson.